everybody, Laura Pennock with Fairy Fox Design here. I want to show you an absolutely fun design and also introduce you to one of my favorite things to do. Have you ever been at a show when there's a lull in your crowd? I'm sure you've heard that an empty chair stays empty. So this is one of the things I do when I have an empty chair. This amazing person came into my booth and was like, I just want a little rainbow on my face, but I noticed she had an available back. And it's a slow day. I'm always like, hey, do you mind if I do something really cool for free? And they almost always say yes. I padded in 3 circles. I just taught a masterclass on flowers, and so I had flowers on the brain and wanted to do something fun and floral. So I just get the biggest angle brush I have, and I get to play with the thin to thick to thin swoopy lines, making sure I'm more or less symmetrical on either side, and just go to town. Doing a back is such a fun way to practice your strokes without having to fit them in tiny little faces. And I absolutely love it. It's so much fun. So I picked this blue color because of the color definition. It just shows off the light shades and the dark shades really well. When you do a back, you want to make sure that you span from shoulder to shoulder. You really use that real estate, but having it up higher on the back makes it a little bit more comfortable to look at and a little easier to see than if we try and cover the whole back. So we're really looking to stay above like the shoulder blades, the scapula. Just keep our design up above that. Next, I loaded up some green. Because this is a floral design, I wanted to put in some leaves, but I wanted to echo those colors into the wings themselves. So I have the same color of blue that I used in the wing. The darkest blue is actually also in this one stroke. Anytime you have the same color in 2 one strokes, you can marry those one strokes into almost like a giant one stroke. In order to do leaves, I like to pull 2 V's together. So you do one side and then the other, one side and then the other. You can see it right there. And it's just a quick and beautiful and simple way to do those leaves. Then, similar to the way that I pulled a few teardrops in on the blue, I'm pulling some strikes out on the green. Thin lines that look like these wispy strikes are a great way to expand the design but not make it feel heavy. Next, I pulled in this purple. So you can see we've got pink and orange and yellow and green and blue and purple. I wanted to have there be a white edge. The shapes that I'm using in this wing are really basic, and it just repeats over and over and over and over. At any point, there could be a family of 5 kids that come up and want to get painted, but they don't want to wait. So you want to do something that looks pleasant, but it's also very fast. When you turn a sponged circle into a flower, especially if it's a one-stroke rose, it's really nice to focus on the boundary and to just go in and identify, okay, this is the outer ring. These are my petals. There it is. And then all the blending that we did becomes beautiful on the inside of that flower. One-stroke roses are one of the hallmarks of face painting. You guys, I'm sure, already know how to do them, but by focusing on a tight center that gets looser and looser as we go around, these flowers just bloom. It's so beautiful. One of the things that I've learned recently to do in my one-stroking is to have my white with me. Anytime I'm doing the petals, often the white crisp edge gets muddied or dulled out because we are painting over other colors. And so by having your white ready, you can just dip the very tip corner of your one stroke into that white and it freshens it up. So you don't need to reload your brush nearly as often. Whenever you're doing roses, you want to spend time thinking about where is this rose pointing? What is the center? So that first stroke, that first little N shape that you do is really going to set the tone for where this rose is going to live and where this rose is going to be. And then follow it around and just keep going and going. I love designs that use every color in the rainbow without actually having a rainbow in it. I feel like there's just so much life and vitality, and it really brings me back to the tropical rainforest. Whenever you have a white edge on a one stroke, it's actually a perfect place to do a teardrop edge. So that's where you just throw in messy teardrops. And because there's white already, it makes it blend. And so it looks a little bit more connected than if it was just teardrops on top of color. And I love the way that that comes out and stands forward, so it makes the layers look like they're actually layers and not just a single flat surface. Then those wispy lines that we do on faces, they are so much bigger on backs. We can trail here and there and everywhere, lifting the design up, curling it down, just making everything flow. If there's a hole somewhere, fill it in with a few extra lines. I love the way that white makes color sing. It's just amazing the way you can take the reddest tomato and you shine a light on it and it looks white in that little spot. And that's the same thing that we're doing with this white outlining and highlighting. It just gives a pop. Of course, we were going to use some glitter. This is such a fun way to finish any design, and the back is no different. I absolutely loved painting this for her and showing it to you guys. Please, please, please paint a back. They are so much fun. And if you do, of course, I would love to see it. I want to thank all of the Fairy Fox friends that made this video possible for you today. And I can't wait to see what we do next.